The black sheep.
We got another church story over here. So
Fuck church.
stop. So this happened on Halloween night, 2012. There was a pastor. His name was John White. And this pastor decided.
Pastor or pastor?
Pastor.
She asked me before we started recording. She
Is
was
it
like,
pastor or pastor?
she was like, is it pasture or pastor? I was like,
It sounds the same.
pasture is what the cows eat.
You just add a little bit of a ch with the pasture.
English.
It's like a little. Anyways. So he decided to take a mallet and zip tie and went. Can you please? I'm sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
And he decided to go to Rebecca Gay's home, which was his fiance's 24-year-old daughter at the time.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? So she lived there alone, Rebecca. She lived alone with her 3-year-old son, and it wasn't out of the norm for him to, like, come over and visit because obviously, like, you know. He would, like, come over sometimes, and he would actually go over and, like, babysit her kids sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it wasn't like, weird that he was, like, coming over and, you know, knocking on her door and shit. So she happily let him inside, and obviously he's a pastor, so, like, everyone in the community just, like, knew who he was, and, you know, just a nice guy, just regular nice guy.
Yeah, it's always the regular nice guys.
It's always the pastors, Jesus Christ. So, so then he bludgeoned her repeatedly
With?
the mallet,
Oh.
and then he wrapped the zip tie around her neck and, like, tightened it, basically strangled her with it.
That's a big zip tie.
Yeah, and then he stripped her down, took
gosh.
her clothes off and everything, and carried her body into the woods, like, behind her trailer. And then I think I read that after this, he went back inside, and her 3-year-old, like, had woken up or something like that. And he ended up, like, dressing the 3-year-old up, like, in his little Halloween costume, and ended up taking him over to his, like, biological dad's house or something to go trick-or-treating for Halloween. Just
Okay.
like nothing had happened.
Well, at
and
least he
then-
didn't kill the child.
Yeah.
I thought that was what's going to happen.
No, he just has a thing for women, dead women's corpses, apparently.
Oh.
Wait. Yeah. Dead women's corpses.
Dead women's corpses. Corpse bride or something?
So, yeah, and her body wasn't found for another 20 hours. And while they were, like, searching, the police, like, while they were searching for her body, he actually, like, led the congregation at church and asked everyone to, like, please pray for her and, like, hopefully
Jeez.
find her and blah, 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 right? Crazy.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, so later he was, you know, finally convicted and committed. Oh, well, after that he was convicted, and then later he ended up committing suicide in prison. But before this, in 1981, he was 22 years old, and he had actually tried to kill his neighbor, which was a 17-year-old girl named Teresa Etherton. So this is just, like, a thing that he was just, like, into, I guess. I don't know. So he decided to invite her over to, like, his basement, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if they were, like, friends or whatever, but, you know, she went over there.
Okay.
And I guess as she was looking at, like, I think it was, like, a little, like, racetrack thing or whatever they had in their basement. A little toy thing or whatever. I don't know. He, like, stabbed her in the back.
So
with
he
a
killed
knife. Well, he tried.
Oh.
And apparently he kissed her while he was stabbing her.
Oh,
He
what the
kissed her,
fuck?
smiled at her, like, in her face, and continued stabbing her.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's fucking insane. So she survived. She
He's like,
got
every time I
stabbed.
stab you, let me get a kiss. Bro.
So every time not every time. Sorry, you keep freaking.
Every time you stab her.
So she survived, and she was stabbed 15 times.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And so, you know, he was arrested or whatever. He went to prison for 2 years for that.
Oh my god.
For attempting to kill someone. He was 22 years old. They probably were like, oh, he has a whole life ahead of him. Like, let's just give him another chance, whatever. He only got 2 years in fucking prison. This girl could have literally died.
Well, this isn't Texas, I'll tell you that much.
But, I mean, this was 1981, so, I mean, I don't know exactly what the laws were back then, but still. And then 1994, he killed a woman.
Okay.
That he was having an affair with. I don't know exactly what he did with her, but he left her naked body in the woods. I don't know if he, like, did anything with these ladies, like, after they were dead, but, I mean, he had, like, necrophilia or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Just people that are just, like, into that. And since there was no evidence that, like, he intended to kill her, he was convicted on manslaughter charges. And then in 2007, he was, like, let go again. So that's how he ended up killing Rebecca later on, which was the first
So when he was
story.
caught that time, he killed that lady, right? The one after the 17-year-old?
Yeah, so the first time he tried to kill someone, right?
Second time.
17-year-old girl. She survived. The second time, he killed another lady that he was having an affair with, and then left her naked body out in the woods. And then, you know, he was convicted on manslaughter or whatever, and then let out in 2007. And then...
So how many years was he in jail?
So 1994, he killed that woman.
Okay, so 1994, 2007.
And then he was let out in 2007. So I don't know when exactly he was convicted.
13
but,
years.
Do you think he was convicted right when he killed her?
Okay.
Maybe a few years later or something. I don't know. But yeah, so he was let out in 2007, and then later on, again, he decided to kill Rebecca. And then he committed suicide in prison. So that was the end of his fucking line of killings.
Jesus, well, they should have
That
arrested
all happened because he was let out multiple fucking times.
twice.
Yeah. So those girls, after the first one survived, he should have just stayed in jail. They should have just kept him there, and those other two females would still be alive today.
Yeah.
Who knows what else he fucking did? Obviously, something was wrong with him. So,
Psycho.
yeah.
But, you know, if it wasn't for them, we would have nothing to talk about, so.
Bro, why do you have
Just
this
kidding.
fucking...
Hey, cut that out, editor.
Don't cut it out. This is his dark humor, okay?